Hi there, I'm Lisa Taylor. This video is a very intimate video. My mom passed on last night, and I wanted to just come on and share with you, while it's fresh in my thought, what this experience has been. I know many people can relate. So my hope and prayer is that something that I share as I process through this might be of comfort to others and give you some window. I don't know. I feel actually really good, surprisingly, and very released. My mom and I have spent a lot of time in the last several months with her dealing with some stuff. And the first thing that I want to say is I feel like, you know, I've for a long time, and I know a lot of people who deal with their parents probably feel the same thing, you know, have felt a sense of responsibility for caring for my mom or being there for her, helping her, being a support. And there's a sense of kind of personal responsibility that goes with that I have always prayed through and turned over to God and put her in God's hands, as it were. But there's been a space inside of me that has been occupied by that. And I just want to share and offer to you the possibility that now that I have truly released my mom to God, it has opened up this enormous space inside of me where I now realize what it feels like and looks like to truly turn someone you love over to God. And I just offer the possibility of doing that with people who are still present on this plane. And there is another family member, many of you who have watched the show probably know who I'm talking about, who I am constantly trying to do that with. And I just am getting this really kind of astounding glimpse of what it feels like to have that space opened up in you that is occupied by all good intentions and all, you know, lots of prayer and lots of love and lots of being there for someone. But when that is taken to the level of the divine, where we truly are casting our care upon the Lord and truly are placing someone that we love in the hands of God, even when they're still on this plane, it's kind of beyond words. It's like, I don't even quite know how to describe it to you, but it just has opened this enormous space inside that feels really free and released and comforting and full of love and support and just this incredible sense of freedom. So I wanted to offer that to you guys because I know that there are so many people who deal with this. I have, 4 very close friends, probably 5 very close friends who are dealing with parents who are there. They are very close to. My mom and I were extremely close, really, really good friends, and I absolutely adore her. And I have to share a couple of little incidents that happened. Last night I left the care facility where she was, and this is, I don't know, maybe an hour after she had passed, and sort of doing logistics and getting things settled, and went out to my car and got into my car and kind of, taking care of business, getting home, turned on the car, and then I thought, wait a second, turn off the car, get out of the car. And I went out and I stood on this beautiful grass lawn with all these trees around and looked up at the stars and, kind of said goodbye and had a moment. And then, which was really wonderful, and then got back in the car, turned on the car, I had my phone with me, and hit to connect it to Bluetooth, hit source, I'm in a Prius, hit source, hit the Bluetooth button, and I know I hit Bluetooth because that's all I ever do is hit Bluetooth, expecting, the music to come on my phone. But what came on was the CD player. I haven't listened to the CD player in my car for probably a year. And what was in the CD player, which I'd kind of forgotten about, was the audio version of the book I quote all the time, Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures by Mary Baker Eddy, this book of spiritual law that I'm constantly talking about here. And the part of the book that was in the CD player was exactly what I needed to hear. And I just laughed. I said, okay, Mom, it's like, okay, you're here. It's like the biggest gift that my mom gave me was teaching me about Christian Science and these divine laws, and giving me this practice and giving me the idea that I always had the choice to succumb to the material laws or to lean on the divine laws. And it was like, there's no way that happened humanly. That was not a human thing that happened. And so that was that, and I listened to it all the way home on my drive. So that was really a wonderful, thanks, Mom. I'm glad you're here. And while we were still communicating on this plane, I said, okay, Mommy, you're going to have to visit me in my dreams because, trying to get past the veil on this plane, it's going to be tough. So you have to come visit me in my dreams. So last night I had this incredible vision of, in my dream, she had passed on. And then there was the next scene was all these people were like, no, wait, that's a mistake. She's come back from the dead. And that was just kind of a dream. She's woken up from that dream and come into this room. Here she is. And she was in this room with all these people. And we had this wonderful conversation. She looked amazing and we were laughing and connecting. And our connection is just so powerful and so strong, and there's so much love there. And a dear friend of mine sent me a quote from, what is he? It's not a pastor, but it's somebody from the 1800s. He passed away in 1918. Paul, somebody, I don't know if he was a canon, but it was this whole quote, and the gist of it is that, I've just slipped into the next room. I'm sure you've all are familiar with it. But one of the things it talks about is not taking on an air of solemnity and not taking on this sort of solemn tone in reference to the people that we love, that we can honor them by showing the joy and the love that we experienced with them, and honor your connection with them and your love for them. And was in a group, a mastermind group that I'm in every Saturday morning, and decided to go ahead with that. And one of the members of that group shared this beautiful passage about grief being the thing that is the unexpressed, the love that we feel for someone that's been unexpressed in different parts. And I just adore that sense of that grief really is those places in us where we feel that we haven't expressed the love for someone that we so wanted to or want to express. And I feel so grateful that I was able to so deeply express the love that I have for my mom, and know that she was able to express it to me and was able to communicate with her on that level. And I just wanted to come on and completely honor my mom, and just to say how much I love her and how much I know she loves me, and to just give any of you hope that if you are feeling any sense of personal responsibility for a loved one, to be able to get a glimpse of truly releasing them to the divine care that God gives them while they're still here, just will open this enormous space inside of you to be free of that sense of any sense of burden around that, or sense of personal responsibility, and be able to experience the love that you share with them on such an open and free level that they can experience that and you can experience that for them while they're still here. So that is what I offer you. Thank you so much for listening. I'm glad I could sort of be present and be joyful through this, because that is truly what I'm feeling. And I just love my mom so much And I just share that love with you, and thank you so much for being a witness. Okay, talk to you soon.